fellow crafters. I know it's been quite a while, but I really appreciate all of your support and your comments and ideas that you have given me over the past year. I hope you and your families are all doing well during these rough times. I've put a lot of thought into this craft that we're going to do today. This will be a two-part craft. So to complete both of them, one will be Mr. Claus and one will be a Mrs. Claus, but I'll link the videos together so it will be easy for you to find. We're going to make this cute Mr. Claus, and then we will also link Mrs. Claus right here so that you can do them at separate times, and it will make it so the video isn't quite as long. Okay, so let's get started. This is what you're going to need. You're going to need a man's white sock. You will need a red fuzzy sock, and I found the red fuzzy sock at Target. The dollar store this year didn't have quite the variety of fuzzy socks that they did last year, so I had to go to Target to find that one. You will need white fur, and I've got 2 pieces of white fur, and we'll talk about that later, why I have 2 pieces of white fur. You will need a white pom-pom, a bell, 2 little eyes, and I used buttons that have a shank on it. That way I could push it back up in his little face just a little bit better. So I like the eyes with the shank. You'll need little tiny rubber bands. And that's just to help you keep the sock together. We're going to reinforce it. So then you need twine to reinforce. You will need ribbon, whatever kind of ribbon that you would like. Blush and a brush to put on his little nose and his cheek. You will need some cream color felt. What I made the shape of his head out of the felt is I used a bottle lid. That's how I cut his face out, okay? So I used that. You can use whatever you want. You'll need a little bit of this fiber fill. Okay, poly pellets. That is what I'm going to fill my sock with today. You can buy this online. You can get it at Walmart or any fabric store. The store that I got it at, I bought it at Joann's, and I used one of their coupons. I waited till they had a 50% off coupon because it was a little expensive. So anyway, that's what we're going to need. Make sure you have a glue gun, and you'll need scissors. One other thing that I forgot to mention is I changed the fur around Santa's hat so that it would match Mrs. Claus. And it just kind of gave I like the look because it just breaks it up and it's just not all white. So I bought a different kind of fur. You can use whatever you want. You could use the same white fur for his beard or a short fur, but I kind of like this little gray around his hat. Okay, well, let's get started. I'm going to fill my cup with the poly pellet. Someone suggested using a funnel, and that would work awesome. You could try that and see if that's how you like to do it. But I'm going to do it this way. Just put the sock over my cup and dump it down in. If your sock has a rib around it, you're going to have to work just a little bit harder to get it down in there. Loosen that up. Okay, let's get some more little pellets in there. Okay, this should probably do it. Let's check it out. Keep working those little pellets down in your sock. You want it to be down kind of by the heel of the sock. That's as full as you want it to be. We're getting close. Look at that. There we go. Okay, we've got just a few more pellets here. Let's see if we can get those in. our 4 cups. Then we'll tie it off and cut it. There we go. And keep pushing that down in. You can see the rib in my sock right there. So we're just gonna kind of work that. Keep working it, pushing it down. Now you've got him the shape that you want him. Let's, and we've got to the heel. So let's cut this off and make sure that your poly pellets stay inside. There we go. I can feel them right there at the edge. Okay, so we're going to cut this off. Okay. Take that and pull it together. And this is why we use the little rubber bands. It just kind of helps hold everything in place. They disintegrate. So remember that you have to reinforce them with a twine. But see how that helps you just secure it and keep it where you want it to be. Okay, so let's get our twine to reinforce our top of our little Santa's head. Okay, let's get a good knot there, pull it tight and cut that off. Okay. Okay, there's our Santa. So you're going to want to, I like big chunky noses. If you've seen my other video, you'll know I do like big chunky noses. You want to leave a space at the top because this little Santa has a forehead. We're going to put a face on him. Remember how we had the cream felt and I cut a circle with a curved bottle lid. Okay, so that's going to be his little face. And so that's going to go right here. So I want his nose to be down just a ways. So I'm going to dig down there and get him a big chunky nose. Let's get one of these little rubber bands. And put around his nose. Oh, his nose fell. His nose fell apart. There we go. Okay, pull that tight. Okay, there's his little nose and there's his forehead right there. Okay, so what you want to do is we're going to cut about an inch up into our circle. Then you're going to cut a little circle that his nose will fit in, the base of his nose that will fit inside of there. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Okay, so then you're going to take that and put around his nose, just like that. Okay, so oh, look how cute he is. That's the beginning of his face. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a close-up of what his little face looks like. His forehead is about an inch right there. And so I'm going to take this back off so that we can reinforce the nose, but I just wanted to let you see what that looks like. Okay, so let's take that off really quick, get our twine, and get that nose reinforced so that that nose is secure. Get a knot in there. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now we're going to put his little face back on. Okay, there's his little face. And we are going to hot glue all the way around the rim very carefully. Get our silicone fingertip on and carefully just go around the edges with your hot glue. Pat it down. Oh, see, that works so nice to have that on the fingertips, huh? Okay, get this side glued down. Okay, there's his little face all ready to go. So what we can do right now is we can take the blush and do his little nose. Get him a little cherry nose. He's been out in the cold. And you can also add a little bit of blush to his cheeks because it is so cold outside. It has turned cold here. We've had some nice weather, and then all of a sudden today it just got really cold. Okay, so we've got a little blush on his cheeks. Let's add his eyes. Okay, we've got his little face all done except for those cute little eyes. So I want to show you these buttons. I don't know how the best way to show you. This right here, this part of it is the shank, where you would, if you were going to sew it on, that's where you would put your needle through there. So it's kind of a half circle on the top, so it's shiny. And what we're going to do is we're going to get the hot glue and put some glue on there and push his little eye down with the wrong finger. Just be careful. There. Okay, let's do that again, and I'll push it down with the right finger this time. Okay, I've got to just make sure his little eyes are cute. Set right. You don't want them lopsided. Okay. There's his little eyes right there. Okay. All right. Now we're going to talk about his little outfit. So there was a comment on, if you watched the other video that I did, the gnome video, that the sock, once they cut it, that it ran. And I did find that this sock also ran as I pulled on it. So make sure that you cut your sock long enough that you don't have to pull on it so hard to get it up to cover the body. It does make the head a little bit shorter, but at least you're not having the sock run on you, okay? So, like I said, this was the sock that I had problems with, that it ran, so I think I'm going to cut this a little bit higher. I usually cut them at the heel, but this I'm going to give some extra space so that it will cover and not run. Okay, so this is what we're going to use for his hat. But right now, let's get his body covered. And this red fleecy stuff goes everywhere, so just be prepared for that. Oh, see, that's perfect. See how it goes up over his little head and covers him and makes him really snug. Oh, perfect. Look how cute he is. Okay, can you see how cute he is? Got his little outfit on. Let's get some glue on here and glue this down. Glue the other side. I'm going to make sure that goes down below his little nose, though. I don't want it up over his nose. And then I'm going to reinforce that just right here with some more hot glue. Okay, there's our little Santa. Okay, let's put this aside and let's get his beard. So I chose white long fur for his beard. When you are cutting fur, you have to be really careful that you only cut the back. I use scissors. You can also use an X-Acto knife, or a razor. I prefer scissors. X-Acto knives and myself, we do not get along well. I always end up getting cut. So the most important thing that you need to do is just remember to cut the back of your fur. You want to have all of this fur left on here, and if you take it and you just cut, you're going to cut all of this off, all the cute fur off. So you're going to just want to make sure that you just cut the backing. This piece of fur is 4.5. Let me get my, so this is 4.5 by 4.5. Looks like it's a little bit longer than 4.5, but that's what you can cut it at, is 4.5 by 4.5. If you don't want to freehand cutting the edges, you can use a cup, or you could use your curl lid to round the corners of your Santa beard. I'm just going to free cut that. And just again, make sure that it's just the backing that you are cutting. So that you still have lots of that cute Santa fur left. Okay, let's do the other side. Cut it around. Keep cutting. There we go. Look at that. And all that cute fur. Okay, so to be able to get it around your nose, fold your beard in half. And then that just kind of gives you like the center. And then just do a 1/4 inch snip. Then we're going to make a V. We're going to cut a V right here. Again, just to remind you, just cut the backing, not the fur on the top, because you want it to be nice and fuzzy. Okay, there we go. Okay, so right now, see, we have a place right for his little nose to go. Okay, so slip that right up under his nose. Do you see how that just fits there perfectly? Okay, so tuck that right under his nose really good. Okay, before I glue that down, I want to show you what the other little tiny piece was for. So this piece I cut 1 inch by 4.5, and this is going to be his mustache. When I have worked with this fur before, you know, I would kind of fluff it up, but it would never stay. It would always go back down. Well, Santa has a beard and he has a mustache, so I wanted his mustache to stand out just a little bit more than it does on the other thing. So I'm going to cut this, fold it in half and cut it right there. And I'm going to do the same thing as make a little V, cutting only the back. Pull that out. Oh, sorry, my hand was probably in the way. I'm sorry. Finish your little V right there. Pull that out. Okay, see? Now we've got his little mustache right there. Okay? Get rid of all that extra fur. Now we're ready to glue our beard and our mustache on. And sometimes I'm not experienced with these, and sometimes they just seem bulky and in the way, so I'm not going to use them right now, but just know that they're available and you can use them if you're afraid of getting burned, okay? So let's take the hot glue gun and we're going to run a bead of glue along this side right here. And push it down. Okay, let's do the other side. Okay, all right, so we have his beard on. Let me make sure that it's all glued down. Good. Push that down a little bit more. Okay, so when you go to put your mustache on, let me make sure he's standing up there. That's a good spot for you. We're going to push this up, And you want to make sure that it's a little bit higher than what your beard is, so that you have a clean line and a clean look right there, okay? So then when you go to fluff it out, it does look like his little mustache. Okay, so let's get that glued. Pull that down, get the hot glue, and glue that really good. Remember, we're gonna pull it up just a little bit higher than our beard, sorry. There we go. Okay, let's do the other side. Smooth that beard down and get the mustache glued in place. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna double check and make sure. There. Get rid of that red off of his little mustache. Okay, so now you can see what he looks like with his mustache, and we're moving right along. Okay, all right, he needs his hat. So let's get working on his hat right now. Okay, so what I'm gonna do with this hat, since the red, it just tends to kind of get fuzzies everywhere, I'm going to turn my fuzzy sock inside out, and this is the edge that I cut, and this is the top edge of it that is already, like when you'd pull it on, it would go like this. Okay, so the cut portion, I'm going to take a little rubber band and I'm going to gather it and put this elastic around it a few times, make it tight. Okay, and remember that we need to reinforce that so that it will stay good. So wrap that around. Yep, we got that good. And knot that. Whoops. Well, goodness. Can't get that on there. There we go. Okay. Put that just on there really tight. Good knot. And clip it. Perfect. Okay, so then turn your sock the right side out. And there's your little Santa hat. We're going to add a little pom-pom at the end, but let's put a little bit of this polyfill right there in his little hat. And I'm going to face him my way just to get the hat on, and then I'll turn him around, okay? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, look how cute he is. He is so, so cute. Look at that. Look at that cute little face with his little eyes. A lot of you were wanting your gnomes with eyes, and you could also do your gnomes that way, just like that. Okay, so now what we need to do, I need to get moving here. I'm just talking too much. Let's glue this hat down. Get that, whoops, covered his little eyes. Got it down too far. Pull that up. Okay, and glue around the back. A little burn there. Keep gluing around the back. Okay, let's get that fur and get this all glued right there. Okay. Oh, look how cute he is. That came through there. Okay, so there's our little Santa. That we just have a couple more things we need to do. Let's get the pom-pom on top of his hat. So put your pom-pom on. Let that glue on there. So now we're going to put the fur around his hat. So let's measure and see how big a piece of fur we need. Okay, all the way around. measure it. Okay, that's 10.5 inches. So let's see what our fur is. We've got almost 13 inches, so we will have plenty to be able to work with that and go around his little hat. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start in the very back. And this will cover up all of those little glue pieces, the extra glue that we have. Oh, it's going to look so cute. Okay, we're going to put some glue along that edge. And I'm just going to catch the middle of this fur. The fur, again, is 1 inch wide right there. So we're just going to put that right along that edge. Oh, look how cute he's going to be. So, so cute. Put glue right along that edge of the hat. Open up that piece of fur. It just finishes off around his little face. There we go. Oh, we're losing his little eyes there. There we go. Okay, keep gluing all the way around. Glue, glue, glue. Oh, look, see, and we just have a little bit left over, but then we can just finish that off right here. I'm going to overlap it just so that it looks finished. Oh, how cute. Okay, so I'm going to take this scissors and cut this off. A little extra piece. Get the glue out. Get rid of all those little pieces of fur. Oh, look at that cute little guy. Okay, one thing that we should do is add a bell on his hat. So I'm going to take some green ribbon and I'm going to double it, and I'm going to make it 15 inches long, doubled. Okay, so that would be 30 inches. Okay, so now I have 2 pieces of ribbon, and I'm going to take and put those 2 pieces of, let's move him over here out of the, so we still have all the light we need. So there's our bell. We're going to make a bow. I always like to make sure that my ribbon's going the same direction. Just makes for a nicer bow. There we go. Okay, so here we've got a nice bow. I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller and open up those little loops. There's our bow right there. You can see our little bow. Okay, let's get some glue on that and get it on his hat, and then he will be all ready. Cut some of those little ends off. It's a lot easier to have it a little bit longer, your ribbon, than too short, because then when you go to tie your bow, it's really hard to tie a bow if you're struggling with not enough ribbon. Oh my gosh. All right, there is Santa, and he is ready to deliver presents on Christmas Eve. Right there. So I hope you enjoyed watching me make this little Santa tonight. And again, we'll link the Mrs. Santa to this video. Here's Mrs. right there, and we'll link them together so that down the road we can, or you can just hop on to the next tutorial and make her. And if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe, and hope to see you soon. Thanks for watching.